All right, guys. Well, we're up and at 'em. We're live. It's Thursday night. It's time for Rival Angler. How are you doing? What's going on, Dave?
Not a lot, buddy. How you doing tonight?
I'm here. I'm excited. We've got a pretty cool guest coming in, and we're gonna get everything kind of moving here a little bit. We've got an interesting conversation. There's a lot of details about our guest that you might not even know, Dave. But there's a lot of stuff that you probably don't want to know. But no. So Joe, how was your last couple of days since Tuesday?
Not bad, bud. Fished a little Wednesday night tournament yesterday. Me and a couple buddies kind of picked up a tournament that fell apart here locally. We went ahead and titled it Central Florida Bass Showdown. Every Wednesday night, 6 to 9, $50 entry fee. It's open to anybody, and just a good group of guys. Again, it's a lot running tournaments, and they tend to fizzle out, So our goal is to keep one that we fished alive, and it turned out pretty well for our first show out. And fished that and working, and here I am, ready to talk some fishing with the legend himself.
Little Carson didn't show up and whoop your butt again, did he?
Nah, he's scared. The big boys came out to play, and
the big boys.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Let's keep it at that. He's scared.
When he does come out and he does whoop y'all, what are you going to say then?
That's not going to happen.
It will happen.
We're going to have that conversation. Actually,
we'll see.
I'm going to be hitting him up for some information here shortly about something I got. I got a little Winter Haven chain tournament this Sunday. I know where I'm going to be targeting them, but I got some questions for the young legend himself. So, Carson,
offshore hydrilla, brother.
Yeah, dude. My goal was to hit some bluegill areas.
There's a couple pad stretches that have some in it right now there.
That are hit. Yeah, that's
he's familiar with it.
Okay,
he's familiar with it.
Then I'll just keep everything hush hush for now in case somebody's trying to spy on me, Dave. You know how that
goes. So this is bass boat tournaments you're talking about. What is it? Your Central Florida Bass Showdown?
Yeah, Central Florida Bass Showdown. Okay. Open tournament. We got dudes. We have these dudes that come from Polk County in a canoe in a water cooler with like 5 bubblers in that thing, and they tear it up, dude. They've won. They've torn it up. So it's anybody. If you got a boat,
lakes do you fish?
Huh?
What lakes do you fish?
Believe it or not, we Poga. I mean, they're brave enough to hit Poga, June, Placid, Buffum, Reedy, Crooked.
Really?
Killing it, dude. 2 trolling motors, 2 batteries, a giant classic igloo cooler in the middle.
Wednesday night?
Do they have that shitty decal, that shitty coolers decal?
No, but I'm thinking about getting their whole canoe wrapped in that with it. But, dude,
awesome.
If you got a boat and it floats and you can keep them fish alive, come on out. 3 fish limit, $50, and try to make it happen, man.
Really?
Well, there you
go.
Wednesday night, 6 to
what
9.
Time? What time?
6 to 9.
6 to 9.
And we'll pull the lake Monday, so we have time to get exemptions for it. We try to get exemptions for some of the smaller lakes we fish. We are not able to pull, but the bigger ones we're definitely going to have exemptions. So, you know where I'm at, Dave.
Yeah, I might have to call a DJ and
come on now.
Have a 6-pack and
come on out. Come see
show
it.
Out.
Come play.
Just don't pre-fish for it, Dave. You'll do fine.
Oh, don't worry. There ain't no pre-fish suckers going off at 6 p.m.
No. So, are kayaks allowed? Can we keep if I can keep fish alive? Are kayaks allowed? It's a 3 fish limit. That would be.
If you can bring 3 fish, bring 3 fish to the ramp and be in the weighing line by 9 p.m., you can fish this tournament.
It's not for me. I mean, like I'm asking as if it's me, but it's really not for me. It's for our guest because he would come down and
he can come out. If he can keep 3 fish, if he can drag 3 fish on in to the ramp and keep them alive.
If it's a tournament and he's in a kayak, he's going to win it. That's just the way that it goes. That's how it's been. But no, so
he can use my live well because it'll probably be empty.
There you go. Yeah, just have him, just tether him. No, so let's bring in Justin. Justin Ritchey is the head of tackle for Salt Strong and a quite decorated kayak angler. Justin.
Oh, Justin.
How are you doing, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on?
I'm sitting here in the back of my mind thinking, Joe's like, yeah, if you can keep 3 fish alive, I'm like, dude, I can bring them back from the dead. Okay. I ain't even worried about that. Don't you worry about me.
Oh, God. I would love to just do donuts around him out in the kayak. Hold a cold beer up to Justin. Hey, Justin.
No. Little does he know, all the 4 and 5 pound schoolies start popping out, and I'm like, okay, thank you, David, thank you for that.
So Justin, tell me about how the beginning of this year. I mean, you took a drastic career change and from what you were doing, and now you're in a position of head of tackle for Salt Strong. Tell me about that, and what everybody can understand. I guess what Salt Strong is and what people need to know about it.
Sure thing, man. This opportunity presented itself to me at the end of last year. For those of you that you guys know, but anybody else out there didn't know, I was a manufacturer's representative in the industry for a couple of years. Worked for a pretty well-respected representative group. We had 10 or 11 different lines under our umbrella: star rods, owner hooks, marine metal bubblers. Joe, I mean, that was the marine metal bubbler guy. Like, anybody that needed to get bubblers, all the tackle shops were getting it from me or from distributors or whatnot. Worked with a line that Andrew and David were involved with before, Band of Anglers. So I was the guy getting spool tech and dart spins in stores, and things were going pretty good. I love the fishing industry, man. I love product. Like, I'm a bit of a tackle junkie, and I'm that guy that buys every shiny thing in a tackle shop just because I want to try and find out if it's legit or if it's just a lot of media hype.
So that's how you and Andrew become friends.
Yeah.
Do you have a bat, though? Do you have a bat? Do you have one of those
Savage Gear bats?
Oh, I thought you meant like a baseball bat. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm not dumb. I got baseball.
No, I'm talking about one of them little flying creatures.
Like actual
bat. Oh, I never got to that point. No.
Yeah,
that's
there's
me.
a fun.
That's me.
I draw the line of kayak fishing.
There.
Oh man.
So the end of the year came around last year, and I was kind of at a point where I gave the metaphor to Joe Simons. He's one of the co-founders of Salt Strong, and he reached out to me, and it just kind of seemed like it was like an unmistakable sign that something was going to happen. He just kind of called me out of the blue. We started talking, and he asked me like, hey man, what's going on? How is life? Like, where are you at? What's going on in your life? And I gave him a metaphor, and I honestly said, like, you know what, man? I feel like I'm the captain of a ship, and I don't know where I'm sailing to. It's like, oh, that didn't sound good. And I said, no, and I don't know how to explain it. And it wasn't like personal life. It was job. Like, I love working in the industry because it's awesome when you can mix your passion and your profession. But honestly, with COVID being so intense and everybody buying up so much product and me not being able to deliver a lot of product to people, it kind of wore on me. I wanted to work in the industry. I wanted to be a part of something that was involved with fishing tackle, and I want to help people be more successful. And then Joe reaching out to me was kind of like perfect timing. It was unmistakable that this was something I needed to look into. And after he called me and he said, we're thinking about adding to our team, and we're thinking about bringing on somebody to manage inventory and tackle to support, our 20,000 insider members. And, just want to know what you might think about it. And I said, yeah, that sounds cool. And I went from like dipping my toe in the water to, as soon as I got off the call, I said, who the heck is Joe Simons and what is Salt Strong? Like, I know that, they're two brothers and make a lot of YouTube videos. They do product reviews, they do fishing tips, but I didn't really know anything about who this guy was or what this company was. So I immediately went online. I'm like, okay, Salt Strong, Joe Simons. There's a bio about him and his brother. Oh, it's like really personal. Like, okay, let me read through this. Oh, you wrote a book? Oh, okay. I'm going to skim through that book. Read the whole 300 pages. Haven't recreationally read a book since high school, guys. Like, I've never sat down to read a book, and I read the book that this guy wrote. I was like, this is fascinating. And I got eaten up with it and wondered, like, okay, so they're two brothers that, wanted to, they saw something happening in the fishing industry. And you guys saw it too. In about 2014 or 2015, the fishing industry exploded and social media changed what fishing is today. It's great that there's a lot more people in the sport, but with more people, you get a lot of crap. Okay, you get a lot of negativity, you get a lot of judgment, you get a lot of people with egos, you get this false sense of image that yourself, social media standing, and we want to do something. We don't want to work in the finance industry anymore. We want to do something else. We want to teach people how to be better at fishing. And we think that there's an opportunity from an education platform to teach people anything and everything about inshore saltwater fishing. And we want to create a club that pulls people away from a lot of the negativity that's happening on Facebook, Instagram, just this expectation that, we all, you love to see a woman in a bikini fishing. Okay. But at the same time, it's not necessarily helping women in the sport of fishing. And you like to see guys go out and something coming on, but then now everybody wants to be pro staff for that brand, and if you're not pro staff for that brand, then you're not worth anything. And it's just not healthy. It's not truly about growing the sport and respecting fisheries. And they created what's called the Insider Club or the Insider Membership, and it's three things. It's number one, premium education. So being a part of the Insider Membership allowed people to have one-on-one personalized tips. We have coaches in the teams that do spot dissections on areas that you live and you fish. So if you say, hey man, I live in Arapaca, I live up in the Panhandle, I live in Virginia, and I love everything you guys teach, but what do I do? What lures do I need to throw? What time of day do I need to go out and catch this redfish? Help me. We have coaches that are going to say, I got you, man. Let's look at a spot dissection. Let's talk about tides. Let's talk about techniques and approaches. And they help you be more successful, along with all these mastery courses that are available that somebody can watch to learn about live streaming and all these things. So there's education, there's a private community, which is awesome. It's like a clean Facebook. Not a lot of crap and smut and schmoo in the area. It's very personal. It's anglers helping anglers. Andrew, you remember or Florida, there were times where it was more about offering good and successful catch on the water in a very detailed fashion, and everybody supporting it, and then people asking questions. It was nice before really things. Can you guys hear me okay? You're all looking a little cockeyed.
Yeah, no, we're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Breaking up a little bit.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Okay, I'm not gonna move.
You get animated, and then it's
choppy.
But hey, it's all right. It's good.
Oh
now.
Boy.
We're good.
Okay,
no,
cool.
It's all right. Listen.
Okay, yeah.
If you saw our first few, you would realize that I'm the king at this. I thought it was me, and I'm like, Dave, is this digital or is it me?
See, now you look fantastic. I can hear everything you say, but you were choppy when I was talking. I was like,
you look good now too. Like you cleared up.
Weird.
Thank you.
Weird.
So, in short, I was offered the opportunity to be the head of tackle for Salt Strong, to buy products in the industry, hooks, rods, lures, but not like a giant tackle shop, right? You go into a big, like a Strike Zone, or you go into Tampa Fishing Outfitters, and they're massive. They have anything and everything, all the colors, all the sizes. Salt Strong's approach is different. They said, just like how 90% of the fish are in 10% of the water, 90% of the lures don't really, aren't going to make much of a difference, but 10% will. There are key items that every angler should have: a good quality paddle tail, a jerkbait, a topwater, a spoon. How many different leaders do you need to have, fluorocarbon or mono? Well, let's do tests to prove that there's a lot of media hype around fluorocarbon. That is a whole other podcast that I talked to. I talked to general management up at Seagar and asked technical questions about their quality control, and they weren't able to share information with me that kind of debunked it. But the whole point of Salt Strong is it's really like getting to the truths and addressing how to be successful while also not falling for media hype. That is the industry. Everybody's all about marketing. Everybody's all about, You think of Shimano. Shimano's a huge brand.
Mhm.
Some of the things that Shimano makes, Shimano doesn't even manufacture. There's a middleman that makes Shimano stuff. And like we teach people all of that, not just how to be better at fishing, but what's going on in the world today. Just real talk, guys at a bar chatting on podcasts. So really, like, I love it, guys. Like I'm a part of something that I feel like I can make a big difference. I can help people improve their game. We see testimonials rolling all the time where everybody says, not only have I learned more in the past 3 months as a fisherman than I have in the 20 years that I've spent fishing. We have guides that are like, holy crap, this is like super helpful. You have all these resources that help me key in on tides and locations and spots and whatnot. But it feels good when someone sends you a testimonial and say like, Salt Strong saved my life. Like, you guys fill me with so much joy, reminding me that the community that we're in is about helping other people, both in life and in fishing and everything. And that's the reason why I left the fishing industry as a sales rep of star rods, owner hooks, and some cool stuff to work for Salt Strong, is because what makes me happy as a fisherman is community. Like, what makes me feel warm and fuzzy and why I get up and I do what I do is because I love knowing that I'm helping people be better. Like, that's very gratifying. So if you guys don't know what Salt Strong is, after this podcast, you should just Google Salt Strong and say, what is it and why do I care about it? You should look into it. You get education, you get awesome community, and if you're an insider member, you get 20% off all of your tackle. So that means everything, like hooks, rods, reels, lures, and good stuff. Daiwa, Penn, Bull Bay, owner and jig heads and everything. 20%.
Bass Assassin.
Bass Assassin, my man, dude. We got Saltwater Assassin, Pro Elite jig heads,
Nice,
awesome finesse jig heads. Like a whole bunch of stuff on there, guys. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. Now you sound like you're in a much better place. I mean, we were having our conversations, at the end there, the last couple months before you and I both moved on. We moved on at the same time, and we both kind of opened up to each other on our feelings of where we were, what was going on, and both of us were definitely needing a change in our lives, man. Yeah. And to hear you today, man, it's just, it's so nice. You and I had a great working relationship. I mean, we were talking every week, working together. You were one of my reps, and I'll tell you, man, you made my job much easier. You're very knowledgeable with everything, and to put you in a place like Salt Strong, it's a win-win for everybody. The company, yourself, but not only that, it's your customers, your members, and to have someone as knowledgeable as you in this industry, just an open book for them to educate, to be that man, to help somebody. I mean, that was the one thing with you. You always wore your emotions on your sleeve, no matter what. I mean, and that's pretty cool, man. I'm so happy to hear you where you're at and with what you're doing. It just, it's a good thing for everybody, man. And I'm proud of you, buddy. You're doing a hell of a job there, man.
Thank you. Appreciate
good stuff, man. To hear the excitement in your voice, man, you're just exuding like happiness and excitement, and it's awesome, bro. I'm happy for you that you're in where you're at, dude. So good stuff, man.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
Thank you, guys.
You know what else is awesome?
What?
How I'm gonna put this pretty frank. How badass you were when you were younger as a kayak angler. I want to go back a little ways.
Oh, baby doll, I ain't that old.
No. I specifically want to talk about two different things. Okay, two different things, and I want to start with the older one first because there's a newer one that was sort of really epic and just seemingly awesome. And I don't know a lot about that event series, but I'll jump into that one. But the previous one was the IFA. It was 2014. And it was in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that and how you managed to solidify it was like a 61-inch limit, I believe.
Yeah, that was the second IFA tournament I did. The first one I did, I got disqualified from. So I thought
I remember that.
I thought that was pretty funny. The first one I did, I got disqualified from. That was in Punta Gorda, and then the second one I did was Jacksonville a couple months later, and I took first. And I always got to give a shout out to Ty Nelson out there, because honestly, if I wasn't fishing with Ty, I wouldn't have done well. He was on fish for, the day prior for another tournament, and he said, "Yeah, man, there's plenty of fish out here. Just like come on out and fish with me." And like I did my thing, he did his thing, and I got on fish differently than he did, and I got my, you know, I got like a 35-inch red out of a school of 10 fish that spooked and pushed out over a deeper section of the grass flat where I could barely keep my eyes on them. Made their way to a giant, like, dog. 35. I don't know, 25, 26-inch trout, something like that. And I got off the water at 12 o'clock so that I could make it to the weigh-in in Jacksonville 2.5 hours later. And I think I drove through a storm. Yeah, I did drive through a storm. Now that I think about it, I had my Highlander, the kayak on top of my Highlander, riding, had to go up the Dames Point Bridge and get to the weigh-in. And I was like getting blown around because it was nasty up there, but it was like beautiful down in the Indian River. I took first place. I was like, cool, this is awesome. I had gotten a couple other first places in other tournaments that year. I was in the best shape of my life. It was my first time at a Hobie. Like a lot was just going well for me. I was on a high. But this is cool to win an IFA and win good cash. And then the tournament director goes, "So are you ready to go to Amsterdam?" And I was like, I stopped and I was like, why would I go to Amsterdam? And everybody died laughing. They're like, "Son, you just won the qualifier to the Hobie World Championship. Like, you just got a golden ticket. You're going to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory." I'm like, what? So I had no idea I was doing that. I had no idea that was the qualifier. And basically what it was is the Hobie World Championship brings 50 of the greatest competitive kayak anglers from all over the world. There's people from all over Europe, the Netherlands, Germany, Sweden, Scotland, Spain, South Africa, the Aussies, team from China, and then there were 6 representatives across North America in different regions for tournaments that they won. For me, for the Southeast, I won the Southeast Regional Qualifier at that event. I didn't even realize it. What? So I was one of 6 people in the United States awarded the honor to represent our country in an international kayak fishing Olympics, if you will. That's basically what it was. Hobie helped sponsor me. My job at the time, I worked for an aquarium company called Bottled Ocean. They sponsored me, helped pay for my plane ticket and lodging and things. And it was a 5-day event, one day for scouting, one day for pre-fishing, and 3 days for tournaments. I mean, it's like a legit televised event. And I was fishing in Amsterdam, South Amsterdam, in a place called Ze Vinkenveenplassen. Ja, ze water ze very cleans. They keep the water clean. They fish with the zander and the pike. And it was totally different than fishing for redfish and snook and trout on the flats. And after 3 days of grinding, and I mean like huffing, puffing, like the highs for those days were temperatures of 50. Okay, it's in the low 40s, blowing 15 to 20 miles an hour. And it was two bodies of water that were connected. The South Pond was like 20, 30 feet deep in the deepest spots with like real tall, stocky grass coming up. The North Pond was like, you're in 100 feet of water, like 100 yards off the shoreline. Like, what? I'm in 100 feet of water now. How far am I going to? People are like, "Oh, yeah, you do say drop shot for this ender." I'm like, y'all can have that crap. It's like 2 foot. It's like 2 foot seas out here. I'm not going to touch this. So I talking. Go ahead, guys.
And this 2 foot seas you're worried about when, I remember having conversations with you working with your butt 8 and 9 miles offshore in the Atlantic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's normal for me now.
Dude.
Yeah, back then that was before all the offshore stuff started, but I had never fished that deeper water before, let alone in freshwater, let alone like a long topwater cast with the wind on my back could hit the shoreline. That's not That was weird. Real anglers fish out of a yak.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
They don't throw the word prodigy around often, but every now and again. No.
Facts.
Oh,
Hard facts.
love it.
I finished that event in fourth place. I took fourth place out of 50 anglers, having never caught a pike, never caught a zander, which is it's like a walleye on
It's
steroids.
walleye, yeah.
And their perch are like, dude, their perch are like 25 inches. Like,
Dude, I would never like want to catch anything else but that.
They're actually a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to catch.
They're the best eating fish, period. Hands down. Hands down.
I mean, I should have eaten them. I didn't think about that.
Hands down.
Really?
You will not eat better, dude. You will not eat better than a yellow perch, man.
I done messed up.
I promise you. They say, "Oh, this fish tastes like chicken fingers," when you fry. Yellow perch has no fish flavor to it. It's pure white.
Oh man,
really?
It's firm. It's a firm meat. Yeah, it's good eating.
Who knew?
Yeah, I never was like uncomfortable with calling fish meat firm until you said it.
Yeah,
it's firm.
Dude.
Oh my God.
So you unknowingly win this golden ticket to Amsterdam, fish for species you've never targeted in like some Arctic storm, and finish fourth in the world.
Yeah, like finished fourth in the world with like minutes left on the clock, like ridiculous. It's a combination total inches of each three species each day. I think first day I was like in 10th place. Second day I was in 11th, and then third day I got a nice perch right off the bat. I got a pike that my team captain, Justin Carter up in South Carolina, he came over and he helped me measure and hold it down. He put his hand on my token. So I didn't realize till afterwards that the one pike I had caught, the picture didn't count. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's not going to count. And there's like 30 minutes left on the clock. I kept swinging a paddle tail over and over and over and over, stuck another one, stuck like a 32 incher. And like with like 5 minutes left. So like I was close to the ramp, got back in, and made in and took fourth, man. And honestly, the guy who got first was from Louisiana. So honestly, if your country wins, like it's a win for everybody. Yeah. But to get top five and to know that 3 out of the top 5 were from North America, and then we're in that tournament, and we're like, we just like swing to your house, like it's so great. It was awesome. That
is insane, bro.
So
that's epic. That's awesome, dude.
That was one of the greatest fishing trips of my life. Like
hands down,
I loved it.
Yeah. That's insane.
That is just nuts.
Yo, Dave Harper, what's up, dog? Dude, it's been a long time, Dave. Talk about a guy that's like, shooting straight from the hip, man. Dave Harper, you're a good guy, dude. Good fisherman too.
Yeah, he's doing that bass thing now.
Yeah,
he's doing that bass thing now.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. Dave knows what's up.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm gonna share a picture here.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's not what you think. Hold on, let me make sure I got the right one.
He's got multiple. Oh, geez.
I do. I've got a couple that I wanna do.
I know you're really good at Photoshop, so I'm like really uncomfortable about what's gonna.
We'll go ahead and put this up here in the corner for now, but that's not going to stay there forever.
Okay? Dude.
All right. But, no.
What boy band was that again?
That was
Clearly, a lot has changed since then. A little more facial hair, not much, but a little more.
I'm surprised you found that one. I had 2 headshots. That was my I can do serious rolls headshot, and then I had one where my hair was down. I was in a hoodie and a red shirt, and I was like, "Hi, I'm a kid. I can do 18-year-old rolls." It was, God, man, I can't believe. So, for those of you who don't know, my background, I have my degree in fine arts. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Performing Arts and Theater. And you would think guy's got an acting degree. But honestly, Like I've been straight. I don't pat myself on the back ever. I've been straight killing it since out of college. Like I don't. You should never care what degree you have in school, knowing that it is about how you apply it. God. Like I mean, for a while, I guess I was embarrassed working in the fishing industry. Like I can't tell anybody I was an acting major. Like no one will take me seriously.
Oh, I remember that conversation. Look, dude, I'm about to tell you something, man. And I'm like, oh God, what? And you did. You told me. You're like, I don't tell anybody this, man. It's kind of keep it on the down low.
But dude, I've embraced it now, especially being at Salt Strong. Like,
yeah,
what better way to like show your on camera skills than being on the camera talking about fishing techniques and product? Like, dude, I mean, next to making a persona, I have this idea. Oh, I can't share it yet, but when it comes out, it's going to be like giving Will Ferrell's Eastbound and Down character run for his money. So it's going to be pretty good.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Oh my God.
That show, bro.
No. So this picture I'm sharing, I need you to elaborate on this because this is from the extreme. Okay. Now, there's a lot leading up to this, but you look really happy right there in the middle. Why are you happy?
It's a little auspicious how I'm sitting.
What happened on this day? Because I'm fairly familiar with it, but I don't have all the details. I mean, there's some decorated people up there that have won some good events.
You can't see my mouse, but left to right, Sean Rolls, Eric Clark. I mean, I see Brandon Meltzer. I see Brian Nelly. Look at Brian Nelly in the jersey.
Yeah.
Brian Nelly's been doing this tournament since like the beginning. Okay.
Yeah,
like 5-6 years. And Brian is legit. He's an offshore kayak fishing guide, an inshore kayak fishing guide. He's been doing tournaments well before I even got into tournaments. I think the guy did well. What did he get? He got 3rd place in that tournament. Yes, Brian is a very decorated angler and a very like kind of keeps to himself, but he's just been in the end zone for years. So this tournament, I've been offshore kayak fishing for a little while, but this was my first offshore kayak fishing tournament. It's called the Extreme Kayak Fishing Series. This is the part 1 of a 2-part series. First one happens in June. Next one happens usually in August, middle to end of August. And in this tournament, my friend Bobby Buzaki was saying, like, hey man, you should do the extreme tournament. All you got to do is go out and get 2 kingfish and catch a big tuna, and like you could potentially win $5,000. I was like, well, I don't really care about kingfish because I think kingfish are slimy and they don't taste nearly as good as tuna. But yeah, I guess I can like swing it, a bat just like everybody else and go see how I do. Being that I live in Orlando and this tournament is held down in Pompano Beach, Florida, it's a 3-hour drive for me. So all of the preparation that goes, and I'm not a local, like I haven't been doing this nearly as long as the majority of the people that are in this picture. I just love vertical jigging for tuna. Like, I did the inshore thing for a while. I love inshore fishing. I did a number of tournaments. I did well. That was a great part of my life. But like my passion is transitioned to where recreationally, what do I want to do? I like doing the offshore kayak thing because I feel like that's the next frontier of fishing. To say that you can go out and potentially catch like a 60-pound wahoo in a little plastic 12-foot dinghy while guys are out in $150,000 boats towing and trolling multiple setups. I mean, to me, it's almost laughable, but I love the challenge because it is.
I've got another word for it, but yeah.
Don't even.
Not with what swims in the Atlantic. Yeah, I remember calling you. It cracked me up. And I was like, hey, Justin, I said, man, I'm sorry to bother you. Did you get to this account? And this account was looking for some product. And Justin goes, well, Dave, remember I told you I'm taking the end of the week off. I've got that tournament. I said, oh, man, that's right. I said, where are you at right now? He goes, offshore trying to catch a wahoo. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, he said, I'm just paddling around. I said, whoa, wait, what? He's like, I'm just paddling around out here in my kayak. I'm out here trying to catch a wahoo, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got bad reception or something in my truck. What did you just say? and I remember him catching a couple of fish that day, a couple of good fish that day. But it just blew my mind that you would be out there in that little plastic boat catching the species of fish that you were targeting. Because, dude, it has to be a hell of a ride when you hook one of those.
Yeah, bro.
I mean, straight up, you have got to get pulled for miles.
Well, it depends on the fish. You would think that kingfish are just like a 6-year-old that just chugged a juice box. Okay, so they get all hyper, they run, they burn out. You get them next to the kayak, you yank them in. I got 2 10-pound kingfish, popped them in the box. I'm done with kingfish for the day. When you hook a tuna, and I think my tuna was like 21 or 22 pounds for this tournament, geez. And I got it on a jig, which was cool. I mean, a tuna that size is normally a live bait tuna, but to get it on a jig was super cool. That's all I care to do. Everybody was like, "Oh man, you're gonna go out and you're gonna pull some, aces out of your sleeve." I'm like, dude, I'm literally just here for tuna. Like, I don't care about anything else. I love tuna, and got them in. Man, I'm having a brain fart. Okay, so like when you hook a tuna. For those of you that have not hooked a big, like, jumbo blackfin, when you hook a big snook and they take off and they run for the mangroves, it's pretty like, zzz, and like they burst and they're running to structure, and you got a window of time where you're like, I'm either going to stop this fish or he's going to get me into structure. You hook a tarpon and they're known for like, zzz, zzz, and they're jumping and they're doing backflips and they're running, and then they get tired. The speed at which a tuna runs is like going into a high-end tackle and putting your foot on that level wind machine, full speed, like, and it's fluid, it's nonstop. It's to the point where, like, if you put your thumb on the spool, you're gonna burn your finger. That's what happens. So I fell in love with it over the years because, to me, I got to the point where, like, if I'm jigging in 300 feet of water and I hit bottom and I take 2 cranks of the jig and I hook up, and the fish is like burning drag, and I'm watching my line move, part of me is like, did he just run through the Earth's core? Where is this fish right now? Like, I don't understand. And it's just exciting. So I remember, this was funny. I got this tuna, I got the kings, I got back on land, and like Bobby knew I've got good fish, and everyone's talking like, oh man, what'd you get? Pull out my king. Oh, okay, cool. You got another king. Oh, you got 2 kings. Oh, whoa. I pull out this tuna, and they're like, oh, he got a big old tuna. And they go, oh, he got a. Wait a second, did you bleed that tuna? And I said, well, yeah, the rules say that it's got to be in like, edible quality. And everyone's like, oh, you bled the tuna. Oh, what an idiot. I can't believe you bled the tuna. I was like, but the rules say you got to be able to eat the fish afterwards. They're like, you dumbass, you just bled like 1.5 pounds out of that tuna. I hope you don't lose your tournament. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm the dumbest man alive.
Only you, dude.
And sure enough, like I had no idea if I was going to do well or not, but I saw a lot of people come up, and there's a trash can slam where you can weigh in a bonito and weigh in a cuda, and lots of guys being like, check out big old 30-pound cuda. And I'm like, that's awesome. But I'm like dead silent. And they're like, oh, get him, Justin. I'm like, shut up, man. Shut up, Brian. Like, I don't want anybody to know. So you go up and you whip out your 1 king. Cool, you got a king, 10.4. Pull out another king. Okay, 11.2. Got any more? And I just grabbed the tuna, slap it on the table. That's 21.9. And everyone was like, people were throwing their hats down. Like, who is this kid? Because like I'd never done this tournament before. Yeah. And I remember getting up and I got first place. I won $5,000, which was awesome. And it never really hits you. If you guys, David, in tournaments you've won in the beginning, you win a tournament and you're like, yeah, thank you guys, thank you. But in your head, you're like, nah, I ain't win this shit. Like,
you feel good. Yeah, you feel good, but it doesn't set in until about a day or two later. And I just went and done this. When I won a boat, 118 field championship up at Lake Seminole, the year we won a boat, it was just a magical thing. And I never realized how magical it was. We had a magical spot. I mean, we caught numbers of quality fish. The only team that was even close to us was the locals. We beat them by 2 pounds. And then third place was 18 pounds less than second. So it was just one of those tournaments. But, you know, the IFA, you mentioned the IFA, winning the IFA, same thing. You know, we go throw 15 on the board and win it by a little over a pound. I think it was pound and a quarter.
Pretty darn good, man.
You know, we go and do that, and my best friend takes second place, which that was so cool. You know, when Travis got second with us, but it didn't sink in. You know, it really didn't sink in, and you know, you don't realize it. You know, even the little grassroots stuff that you go win, the little extremes or the little weekend, you know, jump in type thing. It doesn't set in, you know, but still during the week, man. And it's like, wow, you know, you realize who you fished against, you know, especially a check of $5,000. You know, there's going to be some sticks, quality anglers, you know, some of the bigger names in the tournament trails and things like that fish. And I think that's so cool because, you know, it brings you back for more, man. It just makes you hungry, you know, because you've done it and you can hang that, you know, trophy up and, you know, like I see your plaques in the back there, you know, mine are in the other room. Same thing, you know, plaques and trophies and checks and things like that. It's just, it's cool, man. And you'll never forget it. I mean, you could literally today, you know, 2010, when I won that tournament in Seminole, I could go fish to fish right now, still today, you know, and that was 11 years ago, you know, and just, you'll never forget those moments. It's very special. And, you know, it's something that, especially as hard as you work, Justin, you know, you're a lot like me, put your time in and stuff. And, you know, it's very gratifying to know how hard you work, and it doesn't work out all the time. You know, it really works out.
That's for sure. I mean, I got to jump in and just piggyback on that, because anybody that wants to know anything about tournament fishing, Bobby, you got lucky. My kid decided to do the dude, Bobby would have gotten like borderline the biggest tuna ever caught in the series of Extreme K. It was like a 30-pound tuna. Like, he would have cleaned house, man, and he got sharked and like dropped the biggest F-bomb. Like, you could have heard the F-bomb from Orlando. He was so mad. I feel for the guy. Like, and I give credit to you, Bobby. I know you're tuned in, man. Like, you taught me a lot of this, dude. You taught me what color jigs to use, what weight, how to work it. And you made me work for it, man. You didn't give it to me. So I'm grateful for that, man. Thank you. Like, again, it's all about, like I said, dude, it's about teaching people. And you've taught me a lot. You still teach me a lot, even on stuff on the flats. It makes me happy to, like, you know, see younger guys teaching me stuff and like getting up and getting really excited about those kind of things. That just, I don't know, it just makes me really happy. But to add on to what you were saying, David, like, if you fish tournaments and you love doing tournaments, or if you want to get into it, the biggest thing that I can tell you is your mental state and what you do to prepare yourself to be successful. A lot of us that have done tournaments and have done well have told ourselves, like, head the night before, whether you pray, whether you have a talk with yourself. You know, me personally, I did. Ironically, I prayed every time that and I didn't pray to like win. I would just pray to say, like, help me be at the best of my abilities. Help me, you know, work 110% at this event. Help me think clearly and make good decisions. Like, I just asked for the ability to find it within myself to be my best. But the whole time, like, my mindset was like I could feel every single heartbeat from myself from the minute that I would launch my kayak to the minute that I actually make it to weigh in and I check in my camera. I would feel every single second. I would feel every single minute, because I'm that dedicated and focused to what I'm doing. Like, it's not, I mean, some people are, you know, go out and have fun. They're treating it like any day of fishing. Dog, it's a tournament, like 110%. You are like walking down the tunnel of the Rose Bowl. Like, this is what you play for. There is no in between. And that has worked for me. Everybody's different, but I would say that I think that if you have the right state of mind and you are committed to what you are doing with, you know, ferocity and relentless determination, you will be successful. You will.
Yeah, you will be. You will be.
You need
the guys that are good, the guys that are good and put their time in, you know, that's where your success comes from. You know, it's not chasing people around because you know they catch big fish or they just won the last tournament. You don't look for bent rods. You go put your time in, go do it yourself. You learn more that way. And at the end of the day, you know, the guys that succeed are the guys that put their time in, the guys that know how to tune out everything, you know. And when they call your boat number and you launch, you know, it's the switch is off, your tournament switch is on, and you know your tournament switch goes off after your fish hit the scales, and you know you're back to reality again. And you know, the one thing I say to people that don't tournament fish or thinking of tournament fishing or fish the small stuff, you know, the one thing I say to you is don't ever be scared to fish a tournament against any name out there, TV personalities out there. You know, fish the big stuff. It's fun. It's an experience. You know, don't be intimidated, because at the end of the day, the only thing you are fishing against is the fish itself.
You fish in yourself, and that's it.
You're not fishing against your big name elite pros. You're not fishing against your big name, you know, redfish pros. You're not fishing against your big name. You're fishing against the fish, period. It just costs more money.
Unless you're fishing against Justin, in which you're fishing for second rather than first.
The prodigy.
Yeah, no, it's not only the IFA or like the extreme. There was another tournament. Pat had a tournament. What was Pat's tournament?
that was the first one that I won. That was a kayak fishing classics tournament. Captain Pat Horrigan ran a kayak fishing classics series, and at the time it was IFA and kayak fishing classics. Like those were the two out there that everybody knew and did. And I did the one in Mosquito Lagoon, and like, okay, big names, Drew, like, you know, Pepe Vidal, Alan Ryland, you know, Chuck Levi, Vicky Sally, Dee Kaminsky, Randy English, Wade Hollowell. I mean, like guys that were like, dude, they were out there all the time, way more than I could be out there. And
Pepe lived out there.
Well, in the boating world, everybody who had a saltwater TV show fished the IFA. Every big name charter guy fished the IFA. Every TV personality outside of the state would come in to fish the IFA. And those are the guys you fish against, man. You hang your hat up. When you have a trophy or a paycheck that day, you hang your hat up. You feel proud. 10th place, you know, 15th, whatever it is. Because, I mean, we were 100-plus boat fields.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you look at it and say, well, these guys make a living. These guys are getting paid to do this. You know, the entry fees are paid. You're sitting there pulling entry fee out of your pocket to try to make a name for yourself, putting your time in, you know. And at the end of the day, man, it's always gratifying to hang a hat, have that trophy behind you, have that check in your hand. You know, it's just, it brings you back for more. And don't ever be scared to do it, man. I can't tell people enough. You know, oh, we are not going to fish against you guys because you guys, you know, whoop every. No, man, you catch fish. You put your time in, you know, and the guys that do that are successful.
Yeah, Dave, you're right, dude. Just put your time in, get out there, and I could attest, dude. When it's tournament time, I'm a different creature, man.
Yeah,
my switch turns on the night before I even get to the ramp, you know, sometimes, and you get in that tunnel vision, and dude, it's something that you keep coming back for more, and. Don't let, like you said, Dave, don't let the big, nice, fancy $100,000 bass boats scare you. I've had a dude in a tin can tear me up. You know what I mean? So
it's
humbling. It's humbling.
No problem.
It's humbling, but dude, it's so the tournament scene. I feel like whether you do it on a kayak, whether you're on a bass boat, whether you're on the flats, it's just so addicting, man. And I just love it.
I gotta say, wouldn't you agree that after you do one or two? If you heed these words that we're saying, and you know, David's like, don't be intimidated by the heavy hitters that are out there. Don't, like, if you do well in those tournaments, those guys are going to be flattered. And in this world, in a tournament, you might get the whole like, Andrew will appreciate it. The you know, SpongeBob and the caveman meme, like, oh, like that's how guys get like during a tournament, like, who's gonna take my spot? You know, like that's how you are in a tournament. But at the end of the day, they're fishermen just like you, and they're going to share a beer with you. And even if you skunk out and you go up and you want to talk to them and say, hey man, you're like, I know you do really well in tournaments. I just want to introduce myself. Like, I'm Justin, and I really I think you're a great fisherman, and I hope I can learn or fish with you someday. Like, everybody's a fisherman. Everybody wants to know that they're helping someone else. Even if in the tournament scene you want to place, if you do well or you don't do well, your competitors are also your friends, and this is a network of people. So do not be intimidated or be afraid to go up and just meet and chat with people, because
do it right, handle your business, go do your thing, and
100%.
and if you do it right, you get sponsors, you get friendships, you get doing it right.
They come to you. Like, you don't.
Come to you.
Yeah.
I've not gone to any of my sponsors and asked. Every one of my sponsors has asked me, and I'm very proud to say that. And to me, to hang my hat up at the end of the day, knowing that they asked me, that feels good, man. That feels good. If you go about your business, you have something to offer them. They see that, and that's how you pick them up,
Yeah.
So,
and the tournament scene is super awesome and real. These guys become family, I like that Wednesday night tournament. I've been fishing for 5 years straight, man. These are my boys, you know what I mean? Roland Martin, I see him all the time. You're like the big names, the big boats. You cannot let that stop you from chasing that, or at least giving it a shot, man. Because I guarantee you fish one, you hang out at the ramp afterwards.
You fish against the fish, not against the TV personalities and the guys that draw the big paychecks and the big sponsors and
whatever.
You fish against the fish. You put your time in, you figure them out, you catch them, and you cash.
I'm looking at a trophy that I got up here. One tournament that was pretty cool was a week after Pat Horrigan's Kayak Fishing Classics. I did another tournament in Mosquito Lagoon. It was called a Jeff Estes Memorial Tournament. It was one of the brothers had passed, and it was a cash payout. Anybody could fish, land, kayak, boat, doesn't matter. And I took first the week after winning another tournament. And I fished against flats boats, fished against guides, people able to pull and hop from flat to flat to flat to find better fish. Right. And it was a catch photo release of like best 2 redfish and best 1 trout. And I remember rolling up and winning it, and the boat, there were local guys in Edgewater and New Smyrna area that were throwing their hats on the ground like, this is horse shit, like a kayaker won this thing. And dude, your kayak's not at a disadvantage to boats if you do it right. If you put your time in and you plan, you have a strategy, and you hustle and you're efficient, you can win against guys that have more resources than you, or maybe more experience than you. Plan, strategize. I've written articles about this, and I had a formula that was really, really straightforward. And it's that success is preparation plus luck. Okay? And when you think about that, you have luck, but you have every bit of control over how well you are prepared for that event. Mm-hmm. So I would over obsess with being prepared. Are my knots perfect? Did I pick the right color that I'm going to fish with for the day? Is my Mirage drive tuned up? Everything needs to be perfect and prepared, because the more prepared you are, the better chance you are in that equation to be successful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's a pretty cool takeaway right there. Yeah.
The 5 P's: proper planning prevents poor performance.
Poor performance. Absolutely.
Same
principle. That's it. It's exactly it, dude.
Yeah.
Dang it, man. No, that's pretty awesome. So I was going to ask you what you could tell someone that wants to get into kayak fishing, but you kind of, or as far as tournament fishing, but you already answered all that.
Any tournaments. I think if you're interested in doing it, you should do it. The allure of winning money, sure.
That's
you should do it to test yourself. Yep. Because if you're like, man, I just want to know, I know that I can catch fish, but I want to know, can I go out and kill it on a tournament day under restrictions, under structure of how you need to do it on a time constraint on the day?
Under the gun.
Under the
it's exciting. It's exciting it's a different way to challenge guys that want to go out there and want to fish for different species or beef up their personal best on certain species. This is a challenge. Like if you want to do tournaments, do it because you want to challenge yourself, and you will get better from it. Even if you don't place, you're gonna feel differently. You're gonna strategize differently, and it's gonna make you that much better. So I would suggest anybody that has ever thought about it and testing the waters, do it. Sign up, man. $50, $100, whatever the tournament is. Just commit to it and say that it's good for yourself, because it is.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. Go ahead, Dave.
No, it truly is. It's an experience.
Yeah.
It's an experience.
No.
Everybody should do it and not be scared to do it. It just costs a little money. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carlos at the bottom, he said, I have no graphs or a pedal drive kayak, and I won tons with my paddle kayak bass tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Carlos,
true.
I know Carlos, and I've been fishing with this guy a very long time, and this guy is a stick on the kayak.
There you
Absolute stick. Yeah, this guy gets it done. This guy gets it done.
That's awesome.
It's on your basic ascend 12-foot. Killing it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we got to wrap it up. But before we go, you have a picture that I think is absolutely the most epic picture. No, Dave, it's not anything. This is actually a real photo.
I was going to say, is he in his jazz uniform?
I'm scared, guys. Like, I don't really know.
No, you're going to appreciate this one, because this to me is like one of the most epic things. It's not something you can do in Florida. Okay.
Oh.
Not something you can do in Florida. Look at this fish.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, rooster.
I can't
Look
see
at that
anything.
thing.
That's cool. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I want one so freaking bad, Justin. You have
I remember that trip.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. That was
No.
middle of first or second week in November last year.
Yes,
They
it
had
was.
just lifted restrictions for COVID down in Panama. I was in Panama, Los Buzos, and I was one of the first people that could get back onto the lodge. This place is 7 hours away from the airport. You're in a taxi, like with a guy that didn't speak English for 7 hours, all the way down to tote my rods and my gear, and it's Jurassic Park down there, man. Happy, they're dumb, and that was rough. I was like 2 foot seas almost every day in like 100, 150 feet of water, but that one, dude, you can't really like zoom in and see it, but like right in the side of its mouth, that's a 1/4 ounce bucktail.
Oh,
okay.
I see it now.
I was fishing for bait. I was going for blue runners on like a little flats rod, like a 7-foot rod and a Daiwa BG 2500, and got this rooster in like 100 feet of water.
You caught that fish on 2,500 size reel?
Yeah, on a BG 2500. So
unreal.
It was pretty cool, man.
Dude, that fish is beautiful. That's totally on my bucket list. That, and I want a golden Dorado extremely bad.
Yeah. Oh man, they're so cool.
And I want one on a popper.
It's like the hardness of a tarpon, but like that jumps, but like they kind of fight like a red. Like they just dog you and then they jump. They got real bony faces and mouths. It's a hard fish to fight and land. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I want one so bad, dude.
Man.
And rooster and that golden Dorado are like my 2 holy grails of species.
Nice.
Soon come. I'll get me some.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get there. No, Justin, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sharing some Salt Strong knowledge and community awareness. I think it's a great thing you guys got going on. So, I don't know, man. I want to get out fishing with you soon. We've been talking about it forever. Seems like month after month after month.
Yeah, Andrew and I got time now, Justin. So
I got nothing but time.
We got to make our own schedules these days.
There you go. I'm ready, man. I'm. Let's do it. Like I know we talk about it all the time, but I'm doing more inshore stuff now. You can see the camera back there. Or this side. It's weird. You getting some more trying to create some more content, some more tips and tricks, and share my experience and secrets with everybody out there to be more successful. So I'm getting back into the swing of inshore stuff, and I'm finding some honey holes that I've never fished before that have a lot of fish. So if you want to get out and do it, now's a good time, man.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate it. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you,
Until next
Justin.
time.
Justin.
Good
Appreciate
catching up
that,
with you
bud.
again, brother. Proud of you,
Yeah.
man. Proud of
Same.
you.
Appreciate it, guys. You have a great night.
You too.
You too.
See
Take
y'all.
care, bud.
See you later.
See you, buddy.